talking to me? You talking to me?
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Hello?
What an idiot!
Well, what do you expect? I'm the movie moron.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
No, none taken.
That is right, none taken. I am your host, Easton Moore, the movie moron himself. And this week, we are going to be doing Top Gun Maverick. I'm a little flustered right now because I'm supposed to be somewhere in 37 minutes, and it takes about 15 minutes to get there, and that's not happening. So, yeah, so a little annoyed, but we'll see. This is a good movie, so hopefully I'll get out of it pretty soon. But yeah, I am your host, Easton Moore.
How long?
It'll take 10 minutes.
Bullshit, 10 minutes. This thing will be over in 2 minutes. Get on it.
I mean, I kind of wish, but it will not be over in 2 minutes, or 10 minutes, in fact. And then with me, as always, is our practical co-host, Trevor Landreth.
100 knots. I want somebody's butt. I want it now. I got it.
That's fair.
And then to his left and our right, my wife, Tristan Moore.
The market. He is 100% prime time in love with you.
Aww.
All fitting.
That was sweet.
So yeah, if you can't tell from the sound bites and everybody tweeting online, we are doing Top Gun Maverick, and we're excited to talk about Top Gun the second time within a month.
Were those all Top Gun
Yeah.
sound bites? Oh,
Yeah, from the original.
well, okay.
So yeah, let's just jump right in. I had no reason to, mess around because if you guys haven't listened to our other episode of Top Gun, we did actual the original Top Gun, and then to prep for this. But anyways, general thoughts.
I am on the Top Gun hype train. I saw it. I loved it.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, the Top Gun Maverick train. It was great. I loved every second of it. And that's my general thoughts.
No, I really enjoyed it too. A lot. I liked it a lot. We saw it at 10:40 last night. Ended up starting.
Yeah, 10:15 is when we went, but of course they're terrible and they wait forever.
And I fall asleep in the theaters regularly. And I did not fall asleep one wink. Not one wink.
Tired at all during the movie.
I had to watch my head, how far my head was going back.
Bobbing back.
Yeah. Well, not bobbing, but just I knew if I laid my head down on the seat, I was going to be out. But no, I didn't. I did great. And it was great. There were a couple things that I wish were a little different, but I'll say that later.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, this is a fantastic sequel.
Yeah.
There's been a phrase going around called legacy sequel.
Legacy sequel.
Yeah, legacy sequel. It's basically a movie that's cemented in history. That's like this classic, cult classic, whatever movie, and then they make a sequel 30 years later. And this being the best, or at least one of the best. And I kind of agree. The other one that's being talked with is Creed.
Creed
is a sequel, quote unquote, to Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
So, and both of these movies have taken all of the good of the previous movie and instead of just doing the same thing over, they changed some stuff, but the feel of the movie stays. and they have a new story to tell, that's actually good.
I think that has a lot to say about, I mean, I was going to say the actors, or like Tom Cruise in this instance, but I mean, more people wrote it and were involved too. But like, if you can make a sequel that much later and have it be amazing and not an insult to the classic, that's saying a lot.
I 110% thought that because the title opens the same way. It's the same blurb about Top Gun.
Yeah.
And then the title card appeared. I 110% thought people were going to cheer and hoot and holler when it came on, and they should have because it deserved it.
There was no hooting and hollering, and I'm surprised at the very end of the movie it didn't get any kind of applause.
Yeah, I agree. Although,
especially in a world of applause giving that sometimes doesn't deserve it.
For sure. Yeah. I really, although to being there with that audience, because it was a pretty packed theater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
this whole
weekend
has been, it was hard. The only like show we could go to that wasn't front row seats was Saturday at 10:15. Yeah, which the movie didn't get out until 12:45.
Yeah. But I felt like the audience was very reverent the whole time. Like everybody was invested.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was not like nobody was there because they were like, "Oh, let's just go see this new action movie." Like everybody was like, "We're here to see Top Gun." This is like
but you know what was wild?
What?
The person next to me, the first scene is like I know I have terrible sitting next to awful people, but thankfully it was only the beginning. After that it was fine. But the movie started and it's an aviation movie. Like it starts off with some jets.
Yeah.
And the person next to me literally went like this. Put her arms out and stuck her fingers in her ears when the jets were going off and stuff. I'm like, did you seriously just go to Dolby Top Gun at 10:15 at night, not expecting like loud noises?
Yeah.
You're seeing Top Gun in Dolby. Like that you're going to be plugging your ears the whole entire movie. Why did you do this? Just go to the regular showing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then thankfully she stopped after like the first scene. I don't know if she just got used to it or if she decided I'm not going to do that every time. But she was like legit like waving her arms back and forth because she had to plug her ears as fast as possible whenever the jet was taking off, which was quite a bit at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
There was loud danger zone and loud jets. Yeah, it really kicks you right back into Top Gun.
For sure. Well, to be fair, like if I'm in front of because my ears are part of my work, so like if I'm in a loud noise area, I will do the same thing, but not in Dolby. Like if you're going, like you're there for the loud, like
and you went to Top Gun, like you didn't go to like if you were in Downton Abbey and a really loud crash was happening, that would kind of make sense.
Yeah,
because it's like you're expecting something calm, and that's a contrary to what was expected.
Yeah.
You're going into this expecting I'm going to Dolby so I can hear and feel like I am on the runway in the skies.
I did love the rumble of the seats.
Yeah.
When the jets were taking
anytime
the jets were involved, it was so cool to feel the seats.
Yeah. And speaking of the jets and stuff, this is probably the most groundbreaking technological whatever.
For sure.
I'm sure everyone knows, but for those of you that don't, they actually all of the actors in this movie, every scene of them inside the cockpit in the sky was them actually in the cockpit of the plane. They didn't fly the plane, but there was another pilot, like an actual pilot.
I assume some of them might have been drone work, maybe, or something like that.
No, they had camera setups that the actors were doing themselves. So the actors had cameras inside the cockpit, and they were the ones shooting themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure like the outside stuff.
They had to go through
stuff.
like aviation training and stuff.
Yeah. So like all of the reason why their faces look the way that they do is because they were actually doing those maneuvers.
There's a couple times where they're you could tell that they're kind of freaking out. Even like Tom Cruise, I felt like there were a couple times where he's like, oh,
yeah, which is the point.
It's really cool.
So I don't like a movie hasn't really done something like that before. That would be like First Man or Apollo 11 or whatever. Them actually taking off in a rocket,
right?
For that, like that. So stuff like
actually
that hasn't really happened. Yeah, or actually filming in space. Maybe Fast and Furious 10 will do that.
Maybe.
Yay!
Right. There were supposed to be dinosaurs in Fast and Furious 10.
Oh no.
I'm so ready.
But yeah, just a little praise there because it looked phenomenal. I mean,
does.
it really looked
does.
like these people were in the sky because they were. Like instead, like they could very easily pull a Disney and just green screen all of it, but they decided to do the extra effort and like train the actors, train them how to do like they said. Like, I don't know. I heard some interview of Tom Cruise just praising the actors for like their ability to like learn how to like capture the right thing on film because they only get so many shots of this stuff and like they have to capture it correctly or it won't look right. And so if you didn't know that little blurb, but everything in them cockpit was them actually in a cockpit in the plane doing those maneuvers and that's how they got the footage of that, which is really cool.
Yeah,
absolutely. The actors that they picked for this, by the way, I think were phenomenal choices. With Miles Teller looks just like Goose.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, and then Glenn Powell for like the Iceman-esque character, I thought was also a really good choice.
I know this isn't usually how we do our podcast, which is just a bunch of info dumping, but I heard that Miles Teller and Glenn Powell were both auditioning for Rooster.
Oh, sure.
And this could be Rumorville. I don't 100% know, but they were both auditioning for that character, and Miles Teller won the position. And the rumor is that Glenn Powell did so well that they wanted him in the movie.
Yeah,
and so they made they wrote the character or they like put him as somebody that maybe somebody else was going to get into this character, and he was perfect for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought every one of the pilots was great, even down to Bob.
Yeah,
Bob is great.
I really liked
Bob's
him.
becoming a fan favorite on Twitter. Everyone's going Miles Taylor or Glenn Powell, but there's a slight uprising of I don't know the guy's name, Lewis Pullman.
Oh, okay.
As Robert Bob Floyd.
I really liked Bob.
Yeah, there's a fight back and forth between I guess Rooster and Hangman, and then Bob is kind of I liked Bob a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
But even like the woman who was
Phoenix.
Yeah, I thought Phoenix like she did great.
She did.
Yeah.
Well, and her and Bob together were a good team, I thought.
Yeah, and the original didn't have any female fighter pilots, right? Okay, so like
which I did like that they had a female in there because it kind of it's kind of like going with the times without pushing it.
Exactly.
Like
that's what I was
throwing
gonna say.
it in your face.
Is that it? Like her character felt like a woman in a like it didn't like try to overcorrect the fact that there were no women in the first one.
Yeah.
So she has to like be beating she doesn't have to just like be beating everyone all the time, always be the smartest, always be the wittiest. She's just one of the boys, and that's kind of how like I'm not in the military, but I assume that's kind of how they all have to act because they're all doing the same things. And so it felt very natural. Her character felt very natural.
Yeah,
and I liked her quite a bit. Like all the bar scene stuff, she was really good in. And all of them, they all did really great.
I agree.
Sure.
I did want to say this one thing. If you haven't perchance heard Tom Cruise just talk about this movie, because there's been a couple times in Dolby that they've had like previews of this, and Tom Cruise is just talking about the movie, and like that's how I knew about the cockpit filming and stuff. But if you haven't heard him talk about it, it's very cool. Just you can
and
like
he's so
tell
excited.
you can tell like how passionate and like he is about this. And
and he pulled this movie for 2 years.
Wow.
This movie was supposed to come out in 2020, summer of 2020, and he pulled it because he didn't want people. I mean, they say he pulled it because he wanted people to experience this in theaters, which makes sense after watching the movie. Like this is a theater movie, but also like every movie was losing money that came out in 2020 and most of 2021. So like, and also where's the monetary paramount? And now this movie is like crushing the box office. It's at $258 million
Oh,
domestic,
seriously?
or like international, and then like
Oh,
over
international,
100,
okay.
over 150 million
Yeah,
domestic.
last I checked, it was like 165 million, I think, domestic.
Yeah, and which I
It's
read
still
was
crazy.
Yeah, which I read was his best.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Tom Cruise's best, which is insane with all of his Mission
Yeah, I was
Impossible
about
movies.
to say.
That's why I didn't look into it much, but it feels wrong because I feel like Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, and
Oh, I love that movie.
and the newest one that came out with Henry Cavill,
Rogue Nation.
Yeah, those two were like huge. Everybody was excited for those.
Oh, Fallout also happened.
Oh, yeah.
Fallout was Henry Cavill.
Okay, but all three of those
Yeah.
were all like once Mission Impossible hype was at its peak. Those are when those ones came out. Because I don't think Mission Impossible is huge until Mission Impossible like 3,
Right?
and then Ghost Protocol came out, and then it was like boom.
Ghost
Mission
Protocol was the first movie I saw.
Oh, first
Really?
movie ever. Nice.
I don't think because we owned the second one growing up.
I didn't care to watch it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Everyone hates the second one.
Oh, great, good.
I love them all.
Yeah.
They're all the original 3 are pretty cheesy, but they're still good. Anyways, Top Gun Maverick. It's a great sequel. I mean,
Yeah.
if you liked the first one at all, this is a must see in theaters.
Well,
And if-
Trevor didn't even really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first one was fine, but this is incredible.
it takes everything that was good on the first one and just
Jacks it up.
well, it's just like, okay, these are what was good about it. We're just gonna focus on that.
It heightens it.
Yeah, and they really utilize the 30-year gap that's
Yeah, for
between
sure.
Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, and they utilize it well, and it fits. And that's why I kind of like the long game of doing a sequel like this. Like some movies, obviously, like it's fine that there's a sequel 4 years later; it makes sense. But something like this, I don't think this movie would be anywhere near as good if it came out in 1990. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
like Maverick just sitting for that long, I think was good, and it really added to the movie as a whole. And
Definitely.
this movie has a 4.2 on Letterboxd right now, so it's coming out really strong. So everybody's loving it. We're praising it so far. Sure, every other thing that you've listened to has also been praising it, but
Yeah. I mean, it deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see somebody was complaining. They were like trying to lump in Maverick with Marvel movies, not to bring back Marvel, but like, yeah, they were.
This is that's two completely separate.
Well, what they were saying was they were like, does the Marvel conversation still apply in terms of like blockbusters and being in the theaters and like edging other movies out? And I like the response somebody had to it. He was like, well, this is two totally different things. This is a 36-year gap between these two, this like not even movie universe. It's just a sequel to a movie.
Yeah.
Compared to Marvel, who monopolizes the theater.
And the problem is Marvel has 3 to 4 movies a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's hardly any gap where Marvel isn't taking up the whole entire theater, where it's fine if a movie is huge and everyone's loving it and that movie makes a lot of money, but that should be allowed for I know this isn't independent, but it kind of is. It's just Paramount that made a movie where Tom Cruise was the producer. I mean, so
for sure.
No, this is not in the same realm at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad take.
I also really like when the director or the actor, whoever, or both, talk to you in the
You do seem to
in
like
the
that.
theater before the movie starts.
Oh, yeah,
and they're
yeah.
just like, I want to thank you so much for coming to the theaters and watching I'm just like, thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
Tom
you.
Cruise.
Thank you for making this movie and talking to me.
Yeah, sometimes I like it. Sometimes it feels a little cheesy. I remember M. Night Shyamalan did it in Old.
Ugh.
And
Oh, okay. No, I forgot about that.
I
So
think it
maybe
also depends on how good you
Well-
like the movie. If you hate the movie, then you're like,
John Krasinski did it for A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
yeah,
Which I love Jim, so that.
yeah, and you also love that movie
And I love that movie, yeah.
or movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Do you guys have any other general thoughts?
I
Okay,
don't think so.
recommendations.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, if you can see it in Dolby, do it.
Absolutely. Dolby is the way to go for this.
Yeah, absolutely recommend. It's if you haven't seen the first one, Adam, just go watch just go watch these back to like it's
yeah.
You don't get like you obviously don't get the same feel that we do. We as in people that watched Top Gun when they were 12,
right?
Or if you're 55 now and you watched it when you were 22 or whatever.
Sure.
Because you didn't have to wait 30 years, but
yeah.
So it might feel a little weird going from young Tom to old Tom in the matter of a couple days.
He doesn't look any different. He actually looks better, I think.
Oh my god,
as an older.
Well, surgery can do that.
I was about to say plastic surgery.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take a shot at you, Tom, here, but
okay, but we take shots at the women all the time, and we have to acknowledge that men do it too.
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, go watch Top Gun and then go watch this. It's pretty much a perfect sequel.
Yeah.
If that's possible.
I think it is. I think this is definitely in the realm of like Godfather Part 2.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, yeah. I think
so.
It's up there.
I will say that the movie is getting insane praise. I don't think the movie is that level. Like this is not, in my opinion, this is not Godfather Part 2. This is not Empire Strikes Back. This isn't Blade Runner 2049 level of movie. But it's really good. It's really fun. It's really well written. The actors are amazing. It's just, at the end of the day, it's still just a action flight movie. So like it doesn't have that extra depth to it.
Right.
But like, sorry, you just said it's one of the like it's a great sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's one of the greatest sequels of all time because of how well it doesn't take anything away from the first one. All it does is make everything better. And that's hard for a sequel to do.
Yeah.
So when I say it's a perfect
Absolutely.
sequel, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that the movie is. I'm not gonna.
We're gonna disagree on this, but
I gotta pull back. If you're over here trying to put it up here with Empire Strikes Back, that's a little
too close to Eastern
That's a little too close to. Yeah.
To be fair,
But the
you
fact
said
that you-
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but well, you said Godfather Part 2 is like one of your favorites of all time.
I like
and you
Godfather
just
Part
put
1
it
better.
Oh, okay. Are you? Oh, I didn't know that. I
Well, now
thought
you
you were
do.
a Part 2er because most people are.
Adam's a Part 2er.
Yeah, maybe I got you two mixed up. But yeah, I totally recommend it. So yeah, we'll cut it to a short little break and then we will get into some spoilers.
Spoilies.
That's classified.
It's what?
It's classified. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
All right, and we are back.
We're back
after that short little break. That was more of your normal. We're back. Thought you were switching it up on us.
Well, you're surprised, aren't you?
Sure. So yeah, we're getting into spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and push pause and go to the theater within the next couple days, and then come back, because we all said this is totally worth the probably $15 Dolby ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So, or IMAX. If you got to see this in IMAX, I'm sure that was dope too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we're Dolby lovers in here, so I'll take sound over big screen. So yeah, just getting into spoiler stuff. Anything you guys want to jump into about scenes you really liked, disliked, character development that you liked or disliked, whatever?
Sure. So I remember, if you guys remember talking about the first movie, I remember saying I didn't feel like it was weighty. I feel like this is what I wanted. Like they're pulling these top pilots to do a dangerous mission, so they have to train dangerously. Because in the first movie, I don't want to just spend this whole time comparing.
No, that's
movies,
fine.
But in the first one, it seemed like they were just training just to become the best pilots. But in this one, there was a goal.
You may not fully understand what Top Gun is. So in general,
they're training them how to be the top fighter pilots in the world, right?
No.
Oh.
I mean, kind of. So from what I read, Top Gun is I think I learned this from our Patrick and Lola
the First
podcast,
Timers Movie Club.
Movie Club, I think. But anyways, because they just did a Top Gun episode, so you can go listen to that and ours. But I lost my train of thought.
Top Gun.
Top Gun is it's a school where like they send top pilots to go to, and then they train them there, and then they're supposed to go back into like their group war, whatever, and they're supposed to train the other people and so like they're pretty much training them to be trainers, and like, so it's, I don't know, maybe that makes it not
like they pull the best of the best.
They pull the best
to train the best of the best to train other people
to be even better, and then so they can go back and like be the leader and like train them how to like, I don't know, like basically like how to be the leader, how to whatever. And so like they're, I guess maybe I just don't see how you see that there wasn't any weight there, because they're getting trained there so that they can go like, they're going to be out in the battle, like right when they get done with this, and they're going to be like up there with people that aren't at their skill level, and they've got to yeah.
I think just we didn't see that in the first movie, but in this one we do. We see that this is very clearly, this is the mission that we're pulling you guys to do.
Do you just mean you don't see it throughout the movie? Because at the end of the movie, they show you like there's a huge fight.
Well, yeah, but that's like a surprise thing. Like we're not building up to that. It just
happens. So that's what you mean. Like there's no weight throughout the movie.
You wanted like a specific.
I wanted a goal. Yeah,
which is what
there to be a meaning to the training. Yeah.
Whereas like in the Top Gun, like the meaning of the training is like you're gonna go out and you're gonna be doing this stuff.
Right.
So you need to learn the most you can to be the best you can, because you're going to go out.
Yeah, that's more broad.
Yeah,
and this
is more focused.
Specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Sure. Yeah. So I having that to latch onto really helped me enjoy this more.
Yeah.
This time around.
And I think it makes it like, I don't know about a better movie, but kind of, because you can like you get to see the practical, like you have like a singular drive behind all the training. So like I loved what they did with it. I felt like it is a little weird, because I didn't know that's like they're kind of going against what Top Gun is supposed to be, kind of, but it's also not really.
I didn't
this
really
isn't Top
get
Gun
that, though.
It's also, I also don't even think this is Top Gun.
Well, because they're pulling
graduates.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like
I didn't
this is like
that.
Oh yeah, they pulled previous like graduates of Top Gun to come in and do this mission, and then they had Maverick train him because he was the best of the best of the best.
Right. I did enjoy the I like John Hamm in this a lot.
Yeah.
I thought he was the
colonel,
stick in the mud guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I like that they did I like that the moment they have where he's like, you could have been like you could outrank me, right? And maybe that wasn't John Hamm that said that. Maybe that was the other guy.
No,
but
it was.
Yeah, he's like, you could outrank me right now, but you chosen to not. And I like that we got to find out that he only spent 2 months at Top Gun after he went back. That kind of stuff. That kind of, like just those little quick blurbs that fill us in on like what's been happening for the past 30 years. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I did too.
So I liked that, but my biggest thing about this movie.
Biggest dislike or just biggest thing in general?
Dislike. My biggest dislike. This is like, yeah. I'm just repeating myself. Sorry. Is that not Goose. What's his name? Rooster. We don't really even know him. To me, we don't know him. We just know that his dad died, and apparently he's mad at Maverick. And then we find out that Maverick pulled his papers, which like it starts to make sense. But then all of a sudden it's like after his mom died, and then I'm like, what the? His mom died? Like this whole time I'm waiting
I was
for
thinking that too, actually.
Her to come, like him to talk to her or her to say something, and then it's like, oh, she's dead. And then I'm like, okay, well, what's Rooster been doing?
He's been a fighter pilot for the Navy.
I know, but I just feel like I don't have enough information from him.
I think that was purposeful for the mainly because because of him and Maverick's like separation, that like Maverick doesn't really know anything about him other than he's a pilot.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted more. I know. I just wanted more. Well, I wanted to know him more.
And what's interesting is
and they didn't let me.
Meg Ryan is still alive, so I'm curious if maybe there was a part for her and she said no. And so maybe they had to like fill that in real quick. Yeah, because I
didn't mind that piece.
Yeah.
Because
like I'm saying, it's fine.
Yeah.
I get what they were doing, but I just wanted, I want more.
You just wanted to know more about Rooster.
Because I was like, I didn't mind the fact that Meg Ryan had died. The mom had died.
Go on.
Oh, just because, I like she didn't want him to be a fighter pilot, and I think there would have been a lot more like tension between Miles Rooster and his mom, because he decided to be a fighter pilot anyways, and I don't think I would have wanted to really see that on screen. I don't want to see her.
Yeah, and my problem isn't that.
Yeah, it's just you wanted more.
Yeah,
you want to know more backstory.
If she died, like whatever, that's whatever. But like, I wish maybe to make it better, I wish maybe Phoenix would have talked with Rooster, and they had like a little heart to heart of like, Rooster's like, this is what's going on, and Maverick's a jerk and I don't like him or whatever. If he had opened up a little bit to somebody and we got a little bit more about him, I think I would have liked that a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, were you gonna what?
The only thing that I really disliked was, or maybe I just didn't understand it correctly, but we don't really. Jennifer, so Penny.
Oh, Penny.
Yeah,
her
that's
character
the
comes
next
out
thing
of
I was
nowhere.
gonna say.
Yeah.
And there seems to be like, obviously it's fine that there's history that we don't know about because there's a 30-year gap. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's acting like we already know these characters,
Right?
And we don't, right?
Well, and I thought for sure that was the woman from before, from the original movie, but it's not.
No.
Yeah,
I think
and-
she's done with acting. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
She was also a lot older than Tom Cruise.
Than Tom Cruise,
wasn't
yeah.
she? Yeah.
I think so. But yeah, because I was also confused. Yeah, because like you said, there's this seems to be this really intense history.
Yeah.
Well, I even think that's fine because you can have history. Like obviously his relationship with the teacher didn't work out,
right?
Which I kind of dislike because it was such a pivotal
Yeah.
point of the first movie, and then it just apparently just is gone.
You know what just hit me? That's a parallel between this movie and the last one, because he hits on her at the bar and then she shows up the next day, and then the pilots throw Tom Cruise out of the bar, and then he shows up. I just got that. How nice.
Yeah, that was. Speaking of that scene specifically, since we're already right there, that whole scene got a little too nostalgic in my opinion.
Playing at the piano?
I thought the piano was fine. I just think they decided to throw in like 5 flashbacks, and we know, we know that's Goose's son. We know that's the song he played.
Yeah.
Like, just let us know that. You don't have to. Like, it's just too heavy hand. We know. You don't have to show us.
I think the reason that is the nostalgia part of it is, so like there's a rule in comic books where you have to assume everybody's, like any comic book ever is going to be somebody's first. And so you have to include backstory with it.
This isn't a comic book.
But what I'm saying is that, like, I think they did that so that somebody that maybe hasn't seen Top Gun can go in and still get most of the experience.
Please don't do that. Please don't just go see Top Gun Maverick and you haven't seen Top Gun.
I just think that's a bad way. Like, this is specifically a sequel.
Yeah.
Now, like with comic book movies, you have 45 movies that are all anthology movies that have there is individual stories inside Marvel. Like,
well, and I'm not even talking comic book. I'm just talking comic books like paper, like the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not the movies. But yeah, I can see both sides of it. I think I'm more on the side of like, oh, they're reminding us, kind of thing. But I can see how it could get clustered.
Yeah.
Or cluttered, not clustered.
Yeah, cluttered, and like it made the scene a little longer than it should have been.
It did feel long.
Which, like, the best part of that scene was him looking in and then seeing Tom outside, contemplating like remembering it, and like you can see it on his face. He act like he's an actor. Just let him act, and then having the one Penny see that and like her realization of what's happening in that scene and everything. That was the best part. I didn't need the 5 flashbacks in a row. Like we all know Goose. We all know what happened. We all like that scene was great in the movie. Just let us remember it.
Sure.
I don't know, but
yeah.
Yeah. we were talking about something else before I moved.
Penny.
Penny.
I'm glad you guys were feeling the way I was feeling because I was about to say.
I felt like I had
also,
forgot someone.
Right.
What am I supposed to know who that is? That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. The daughter
Yeah.
Amelia.
Yeah, like they it wasn't that like we didn't know about them before. That's fine.
Right.
But the movie acted like we should have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I dislike.
Yeah, and
That's
they
fair.
didn't really like. They didn't give us any backstory for it.
Yeah.
Right.
They just kind of like started in conversation, and we're like, "Oh, you're okay."
Yeah. And I don't know. It just made us look like or feel like we should have known him, and we didn't.
Yeah.
So it was a little off. But I thought she did great. I thought it was a great addition. I'm not like mad that she was there.
Mhm.
Just a little.
Yeah,
weird.
I agree.
And I enjoyed the kind of like, I don't know, it had like kind of a high school vibe to it in terms of like sneaking around and stuff. And like, I think I laughed out loud when she fell to the crowd at Amelia's looking out the window. Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I chuckled a couple times.
Yeah. This movie's
But then she said,
Don't
just-
break her heart again.
Yeah. Tommy.
Dang it. Sorry.
Trevor's first time on the Switch. He's pushing all the buttons.
I know. Crap. I just had it. Tommy?
Amelia falling down, laughing.
Oh, this movie's like genuinely funny. Like
It's just casually fun, like
It's
normal
naturally
funny. Yeah, natural
well,
funny.
Yeah.
It was so nice to not feel like
Shooting.
like there needed to be a joke. We need to have a joke. It was just people being funny.
Yeah.
Which I very much appreciated. I thought that was great.
People are funny. Just
Right.
show people being funny. You don't have to write jokes for them. People
Right.
don't write jokes when they go into conversations.
Right.
They just have a conversation and throw a zinger in there.
Yeah.
And
Unless you're a comedian.
even then, they don't write jokes for a conversation.
Well, no.
On the flip side of that, I thought the Val Kilmer scene was a really good return to his character.
Yeah.
And it's because the last time
Iceman.
yeah.
Yeah, but what are you talking about?
He walked in. He's mute. He has cancer.
When Maverick and him
Yeah.
were talking, he has to type in. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's a very sentimental scene, and I thought it was a very good send off for his character.
Why are you so confused?
Is he actually mute?
No.
Oh.
He's acting.
This
is a movie.
Acting.
Okay, but I thought maybe something happened to him, but he still wanted to be in the movie, and so he.
No. He's, as far as I know, he's
He's
just not aging well. But
no, but you don't have to.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was just another like good thing for Maverick's story to have.
Yeah.
And I really liked what they did with Iceman.
Mhm.
Iceman had been saving Maverick's ass for the last 30 years, helping him stay, which is a little stupid because obviously Maverick's one of the best pilots in the world, and they keep on.
Well, and I think that it's, I mean, the reason's in the name.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah,
But
I know.
he saves lives in the process. So
Yeah, that is where I like John Hamm's character.
Yeah.
I like that he finally has the switch. I was really thinking they were just gonna stay true to the he's hard on Tom and he's he thinks that he should be gone. First of all, I think the whole AI thing was stupid in the first place. I think that was one bad story plot.
What are you talking about?
with the drone stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he was trying to go Mach 10. The only reason why he was trying to go Mach 10 is because they were trying to make AI planes.
Yeah.
This isn't stealth. Let's just stay in our. Oh, sorry. You guys don't know what that movie is. Sorry. I don't know. I didn't like. I don't know if that's a thing right now, and I just don't know that pilots are
Well, I
getting
think
kicked out of their jobs because they're trying to make AIs. But
I think there's always been a conversation between drones versus actual pilots. So I think that's just, it felt kind of old hat to me, honestly. 'Cause I feel like that conversation's been around for a while.
Yeah, it just didn't. I don't know. It felt weird, but I do like how he finally came around, and I like it. The Hangman thing also was really well done.
Mhm.
Yeah,
was managed well. In the last.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry. I
hates Hangman.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I did for a little bit.
Yeah,
he
you're
was
supposed to.
so mean. Okay, I'm trying to say, when the helicopter is about to
Take out Tom Cruise.
yeah, I'm like, if they don't send somebody to come shoot this helicopter down, this is the dumbest movie of my life.
I wish
It took so long for it to come.
I actually thought Maverick was dead there.
Oh,
I thought he was too.
And I thought that would have been a great way to end the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been completely happy with Maverick, like, finally ending to save, like, he saved Goose in his last act in the air. And then, but I definitely like what they did.
Yeah, I
But I thought that was the end of the movie. Now I thought there was going to be, like,
yeah,
right,
some, like-
aftermath.
yeah, but, like, I thought that was kind of the end.
Yeah,
And then we
I did
got
too.
a really cool last sequence that did kind of feel like, okay, we need Maverick just to be a god here. But he is a
Well, we need to, and they did that. Oh, they needed to have the nostalgia of like, okay, because isn't that the same plane he flies in the first movie?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
Oh, the one
and
at the
basically
end.
Goose or Rooster in the same spot Goose was in.
right, yes,
And then they still have a malfunction and can't
yep,
get out of the ship correctly.
right.
Maverick was having some, are you kidding me right now? 2 for 2 with
Yeah, this family.
the what's their last name?
idea.
Bradshaw.
Yeah, right.
2 for 2 on the Bradshaws, or 0-2 with the Bradshaws.
Jeez. Speaking of the helicopter, though, if I could change one thing in this movie, I would change. I would give my kidney to change this. When the helicopter gets shot down, Danger Zone needed to play like full blast, super loud until, and even when he gets shot down too, until Maverick runs up and pushes him over. Then it just needed to have a hard stop. But that
was funny.
That's where it needed to be. It needed to be
pushed
right
him
there.
to the ground.
Or it needed to come in right as soon as that last plane gets shot down from Hangman. Those are the two spots. We should have had Danger Zone one more time in there. And thank goodness that other song was not in it. I thought they were gonna bring it back. And I'm so glad that they didn't.
I'm pissed that they didn't. I wanted it.
What? Jeez.
The sultry song.
All the cheese.
Yeah, take my breath away.
That was that. What I also learned from First Timer Movies Club was also written for Top Gun.
Yeah.
And that's what won Best Original Song.
Whoa.
Over Danger Zone?
Over Danger Zone. Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
So someone hasn't listened to First Timer Movie Club Top Gun episode.
I've lost my faith in humanity.
Talking to you, Trevor.
No, I haven't listened to it. I'll admit it.
Anyways, sorry.
We love you, Patrick and Lola.
Yep.
I don't know you, but I'm very impressed.
You haven't. Okay.
He didn't go to.
No, I'm saying you haven't listened to the podcast. How
Oh.
are you very impressed?
That's
Well,
fair.
You guys have talked about him.
Okay. Yeah. Any other? I don't know. I can't really.
Not really.
The direction's really good. They have a really simple story, like a really good, solid story that's done really well, and it's fun all the way through. There's a lot of challenges that feel realistic and unrealistic at the same time. I really like the scene of him coming in and doing the course illegally. I thought that was
Oh yeah.
like there were a lot of things that I knew were going to happen, but it didn't ruin anything for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that was one thing that I knew was going to happen because kind of has to, but it looked really good. Like it was really cool. And then I knew that Hangman was going to come around and save the day at the end, but it was perfect for the character. So I'm happy. Like I'm really happy that's what they did. And the football scene thing was really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that was a flip from what they did with the original Top Gun. The original Top Gun was kind of like them like it wasn't them coming together, it's them challenging each other and just another competition. And in this, he used
beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
In this one, he used this beach football thing to try to get them to come together.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. An homage, but also like and maybe be the difference of Hangman going out there and not coming out.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I really liked seeing the conflict that Maverick has with Rooster of like he wants to be protective but he wants him to be a good pilot.
Yeah, that was a good plot.
You know? I really liked seeing that like in their in their argument at the end when Rooster, I keep saying Goose in my head.
That's okay.
When Rooster comes to him and then he's like, "What are you doing? Like, this isn't safe. What are you thinking?" He's like, "You told me not to think." And then
there's just awkward silence.
Which is good.
Yeah.
it's like you're
that's
realizing.
a really good scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that the whole last thing that we get with Maverick and Goose was all gold.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say the only thing I have wrong with like the flight stuff, just my logistical brain, was Goose gets see now you're making me do it. Rooster gets behind because he's not willing. He can't get over it. Like he's just in his head about it instead of just reacting and doing. And then eventually it just clicks and he just goes balls to the wall. If it was so hard to go fast in the first place and now he can just go like balls to the wall and he's fine. Like I don't think it showed that struggle enough or like really what that was doing.
Yeah.
Because Maverick, he was going faster than Maverick. And like, so like Maverick's the best. And like we saw him do the whole thing. Like I think it just should have showed like how he was like really pushing that plane to like the bits and pushing like himself and all of that. And it just kind of like, you just see his jet on a radar going really fast.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
then he's just there, a little behind, but there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did like the, we got a Star Wars-ish, use the Force.
Yep.
Which I thought was
Talk to
cool.
me, Goose.
Yeah. Well, I was meaning the missile and the
in the vent.
In the vent. Which is cool. Like that's a great little premise. Like that whole entire mission thing was insanely like probably stupid. I don't really know. I didn't understand what the thing was underneath there in the first place, but it was some sort of radioactive
uranium storage for nuclear warheads.
Yeah. But why they had to get it in this 2-hour window, I don't know. But nonetheless, that doesn't really matter.
It was
I'm
just
sure
like logistical.
it was explained, but it's like it's obviously like that's not the important part.
Right.
Yeah.
We have this time period. We have to do
The
it
important
here.
part is friendship.
Well, I was gonna say flying fast.
Oh.
We
took away very different parts of the movie.
It's okay. But yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more just showing like, okay, if Miles like is taking this step of being like the best pilot by doing this, like the person behind him says, slow down, like you're going too fast. Like you don't see any, like that was the extent was him just yelling too fast.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was like either a punishment for him doing that or like, or just showing like how insane that really was. Because it looked insane, but it just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like pushed back behind all the other stuff that was going on.
I do like how they kept on talking about how they were ruining the planes by doing this.
Right.
Like I didn't know that was like possible. Like I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
like
I
that you
didn't
can push
either.
these planes to the limit of like where they're literally bending.
He's like, we're
the
gonna
metal.
break the windshield, but it's fine.
Yeah. Or the fact that it was putting like 2,000 pounds of pressure when they were doing 10 G's to get up. Like that, like just small little lines like that for
when
people
he
that don't know.
was saying like your body's gonna feel like 1,000 pounds or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Insane.
Very cool.
And you could see it on their face. As their skin was going. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know anything. The dogfights were great.
Really good.
Yeah, with the missiles, dogfights are when planes are fighting in the sky. It's called a dogfight.
Thank you.
Tristan was giving me some.
Like there were no
looks.
dogs in this movie.
Yeah. Dogfights were great. Air combat is like the hardest thing in like the world. Like the best pilots in the world will get like 3 kills or 4 kills in the sky. And a kill just means that you take down the aircraft. You more than likely don't even kill the pilot because they eject or whatever.
Yeah.
Not always, obviously. Like,
Yeah,
but
sure.
my point is like this is like that's the hardest thing to do because there's just so many elements. You have literally the whole entire sky to just roam around in and get away and stuff. So they did a great job of making it look so extremely difficult. And like I really like how they had the third pilot. No, I guess it was only the second bad guy plane guy.
Yeah.
That would like kind of outmaneuvered Maverick, like surprised him.
Yeah, that did the stop. And
And I like how they were like, we're not just gonna have Maverick be the only smart pilot. Like we're gonna have enemies because enemies are great. Like they're gonna have
Right.
best of the best too, and
Yeah.
like they're gonna do things that you don't expect, and like you're not expecting them to be as good as they are, and
Yeah.
and I like how they navigated that. I thought it was really well done. And so yeah, all those dogfights were great, and the flying low to the ground in the water and all that around the mountains. I don't know how, and I don't know what was CGI. I don't know if any of it was, but I assume some of it had to have been because flying that low is insane.
Yeah.
And to have actors in there, I feel like their lawyers or whatever would probably be protesting them going in.
They probably had some pretty heavy liability contracts.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is just like, sign it. Sign the paper. Make my movie.
Yeah, he just prayed to his Scientology god and they signed it.
I forget about that.
You guys forget about the highest ranking official in Scientology?
Is he still a part of that?
Of course he is. He's like the founder.
I thought he left.
I don't think so.
Oh. Anyway.
For a smart guy, he's really stupid.
It happens to the best of us, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the whole entire movie and didn't really talk about the dogfights, which were fantastic.
Yeah.
That's obviously like not the whole, like most of the movie is just the Top Gun training stuff, but it really rewards you at the end of the movie with just great shots, great fights. Like all of it was really well done. It's a really good movie. So
yeah.
Anything else you guys really want to touch down?
No.
It did really annoy me, the Penny with the ringing the bell, making him pay, kicking him out.
I did too.
Yeah.
That kind of pissed me off.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we all agree there.
Yeah.
Ratings?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to ratings. Trevor, what you got?
5.
5.
Yep.
I can see that from a mile away.
Yeah, me too. 4.5.
Yeah, I'm at 4.5 too. I think this is slightly better than the original. So I have the original at 4. So yeah, it is slightly better. And I think one of the reasons why is because it feels more, there's more like of a solidified purpose.
Sure. Yeah.
The first one's a great vibe. That's why I love it so much. It's just such a good vibe throughout the whole movie. You're just really feeling all the characters. You're feeling everything just feels right. And then this one, like, it just feels like a better, well-rounded movie.
Sure.
And a lot more like fun. I mean, kind of fun. And and you don't have someone dying in the air, which I kind of was expecting someone to get got.
I absolutely thought, what's his called sign?
Hangman or Bob or Cougar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he was done.
Token black guy.
He was donezo.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also thought Token black guy.
And
was
then
gonna...
I audibly gasped when he comes to, and then Bob and Phoenix have their malfunction thing and the plane crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, because I thought we were out of the woods when Cougar came to. Yeah, and then that happened. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Some birds.
Yeah.
Multiple planes crash every year because of birds.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Stinking.
Dang.
They just fly in the engine and it's toast.
Dunzo.
So are they.
Yes, they are. But yeah, I was kind of wishing or hoping, or maybe not hoping, but I feel
you
like
were hoping for death. No,
yeah, a little bit. I was really expecting Maverick to be.
I thought the same time that you thought he was dead, I thought he was too.
Because I figured that would have been the perfect send off. But it gave us much more to him and Rooster, which was needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially just how he like prepped before, and like we'll talk about it after, and like the thing with.
I was like, of course he's gonna die right
friend.
After he told him he's gonna talk to him.
So maybe that's the subverting your expectations a little bit. Like they were definitely setting you up to like be done, and then boom, he sticks around. So yeah,
Dunzo.
Yeah, 4.5. Really liked it. Really good movie. I'm not gonna say it's the best of all time or anything, but really, really, really good sequel.
Yeah.
It's just, if you have like, this is definitely just a Tom Cruise passion project, and you can tell when someone has passion behind something. It's good, and that's why Star Wars and Marvel suck. So, yeah, that's it.
And that's the show, everyone.
Did you just say Star Wars sucks?
I just got done watching Kenobi episodes 1 and 2.
Oh.
And
Star Wars in Disney?
They are
Is that what you said?
I said Star Wars and Marvel, but
Oh.
But it was just Disney.
Yes. Yeah.
Disney owns both of those.
I know, but you love Star Wars. I'm so confused.
I love Star Wars, old Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm saying there's
You're like really concerned right now.
I don't understand.
Disney is taking the passion out of their art, so that's why it's not
Okay.
doing very well.
Okay, thank you.
That's what happens when you mass produce and just do nothing but content all the time.
And so they don't have enough time to really think, write, and like there are some god awful stuff in the Kenobi series. I think it has promise. I enjoyed it, but like there are some really huge oversights where like they just seem to have. There's a chase scene in the thing, which is probably one of the dumbest things in TV history.
Yikes.
Like somebody not being able to go around a tree branch, and that's why someone gets away. It's just insanely poorly written in some aspects. But then there are other really like they put touch in. It's so weird. Disney just decides to put their like focus on such weird things. Because like they'll take one line from Star Wars and they will write a scene around that, and people will go back and be like, I don't want to ruin anything, so I'm trying to stay away from any specifics. But they pull that line and like there will be a small scene in a movie or a show, and it's like, oh, they literally did this small little thing because of this line that happened in this movie at this time, which was just a one-liner offline, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why this happened. So it's like
yeah,
it's chronological, and it's like it's all like interworking, like makes you think that they put thought through it. And then there's like the dumbest sequences that you could possibly think of, and like stupid ass characters that don't make any sense. But then the world looks fantastic, and they put such great detail in the practical effects of all these different aliens that everything looks so diverse. Like, so it's like, why are you doing so well at some things, and you just seem to just not care on others? Anyways, there's my short Kenobi review that you wanted after your Top Gun Maverick review.
Well, on the other hand, I'm halfway through Stranger Things, the new season.
I forgot it came out.
Yep, and it is
a horror TV show.
Well, yeah,
everyone's telling me it's basically a horror movie.
Yeah, it is, and I'm recognizing the formula there. It's a formulaic thing. At least so far, it's very much the same stuff as 1, 2, and 3, just a different brand.
Yeah,
but
it's understandable.
Yeah,
you can only do something so counter for so long. That was such a weird premise show in the first place.
Yeah,
so it's hard to kind of keep up with that.
Season 1 was great.
Yeah. But I don't get all the hate. I don't hate Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. Ian McGregor is fantastic. He is doing a phenomenal job, and I'm gonna give the tiniest of spoilers. If you don't want to hear it all, you can go ahead and just stop listening. But
if you haven't already, after we finish talking about Maverick.
True. But they have young Leia.
Oh,
and,
really?
She is not the problem of the movie. Her being casted as the kid actress is perfectly fine. That there's some debate like what, like we just got over like Hayden Christensen like is just now getting back to Star Wars, and now we're already hating on young Leia. I'm not hating on young Leia. She's doing fantastic. She's great. She's not the problem of the show. Ian McGregor's not the problem of the show. There's just some bad writing and some really bad camera work.
Great.
Like Bohemian Rhapsody bad.
Oh.
I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I didn't mind Bohemian Rhapsody.
No. I don't care what you think about the movie, but okay. They once did like 163 camera cuts in a minute or something. Like 35 seconds. It was like a record.
Yeah.
Anyways, no more rant. But I do like it. They are not the reason.
Solid.
So, has a lot of potential. I'm hoping it gets way better, especially as we introduce more characters. But okay, well, that is it for our review of Top Gun Maverick, Stranger Things, Season 4, and Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. Next week, we are going to be doing
Bob's Burgers.
Not Bob's Burgers.
Dang it.
We might have a bonus episode, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Tristan can just come on and talk for 15 minutes about it by herself.
I'll talk with you, Tristan.
Oh yeah, you went and saw it yesterday. There's a movie coming out next week that's big, and I can't think of what it is, but
Frank and Penelope. Watcher.
Okay, never mind. Oh, it's a week after. Jurassic World is in 2 weeks. That's what it is. Yes. But next week we'll get something out for you, and then we will be back the following week with Jurassic World Domination. Okay, thanks for listening.
Dominion.
Was Domination the one before?
No, that was Fallen Kingdom.
Okay, whatever. I haven't even watched Fallen Kingdom yet, so you can see how much I care.
You don't need to.
Exactly.
No, let's
Everybody
watch
said it was terrible, and it looked terrible.
No, Trent loves it.
I don't know if you know this, but Trent has autism.
Oof. He got you.
He can like good
you.
movies.
Oh yeah, you want to go ahead and watch Kingdom Creatures?
All God's creatures.
No,
God's
I
Creatures.
hate that movie.
He only likes good stuff, according to you.
I didn't say that.
Sorry. Now we're ending the episode as Tristan and I fight. You guys have a good one.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
No, none taken.